Hi there. It's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's get on with the show.
Every week's an epic feat. They shed light on what's the trend. When will the madness ever end? From movies to the latest shows, you never know how far they'll go. Come aboard and take the ride. Let's uncover what's inside. Warriors of the night, here to fight. Pop culture explosions in the spotlight. Tune in for laughter and some cheers. Legends rising through the years.
Hey, everybody! God, it looks like I'm in the red light district right now. Oh boy. Hoy boy. Welcome, one and all. Today is Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. This is episode 195 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what... Wait, it's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of pop culture so you don't have to. That's what I meant to say. We'll fix it in post. It's fine. Hi, everybody. I'm CQ. Welcome to Pop Culture Warrior. Joining me now is America's second favorite co-host. He's the kid on himself. Ladies and gentlemen, it's AngryElf tonight. Woo! What's going on?
Second favorite.
I mean,
I wait. Second favorite. You're gonna have to fix that in post.
This is just voted. Is voted by the fans, man. It is what it is. What it is. Okay, you've got a problem. Take it up with the fans. Quick shout out to everybody that's already commenting. Hey, Edward. Hey, what's going on? Heath, AngryElf. What up? William, how you doing? Edward, I've watched this 195 times. Actually, probably more because I'm not even counting some episodes.
He doesn't count. He doesn't count the episodes that he skips.
Yes, that's
so
right.
We're probably closer to 210, maybe even 215.
Yes, exactly. Carrie, hi, how you doing? I see you there. Pete, what's up, guys? Yes, fact or fiction? No, it's fact. I only count episodes that I've hosted. And I think we've done a couple episodes where like we didn't keep the numbering convention, like we did the roast and things like that and certain things. So approximately episode 196, we'll say approximately. AngryElf, look at this from Pete in YouTube. AngryElf, you're my favorite host. You do a better job than CQ. At least you show up. LOL. Well, isn't that adorable? Bring it in. Bring it in. Listen, okay? I don't know if you notice, I'm kind of a big deal. All right? So I'm not always available to be here. Okay? Okay? Okay.
Right. I would have to tend to agree. You do have your own badass gaming table.
I do.
I mean,
speaking of which, you like the new shirt? It says, wait, backwards. Let's play a game. FTX. I really like this shirt. I really, really, really like this shirt.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The light is, I have a red light on for some reason, and it's messing with the optics of it, but it's a really cool shirt. Looks good. Why does CQ look like Charizard? Yeah, I've been messing with like different colors, and I thought, it'd be cool. Maybe I turn up the brightness of my white light a little bit. Maybe that'll help wash out some of the red. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still playing with things, trying to figure it out, see what I like. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, CQ likes to play with things. He likes to play.
You can even see the new Loki stuff. I got up there. Doesn't really look good on screen.
No.
But, it is what it is.
I can't. No, the camera's just below
it. I've watched this 327 times. Yeah, something like that. You rubbing yourself goes with the red light ambiance. Go away, far away. Hey, Calvin, how you doing, buddy? I always appreciate when people comment and interact with the show. So it's Tuesday night. It's pop culture night. You shared something on the page. You went to ZoloCon. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I did. Oh, it was awesome. I only went up Sunday, but it was Saturday, Sunday. A lot of it was primarily a toy con, so there was a lot of stuff there. Four Horsemen, if you're familiar with them. Valaverse was there. I actually walked past Bobby Vala 2-3 times. Never said hi. I'm like, who else was there? There was some other cool stuff. A lot of vendors. There was one group that had freaking some really awesome, like life-size Star Wars. They had the IG-12 with Grogu in the chest. They had a Droideka from the Clone Wars prequel movies. A couple other things. And then again, just a lot of people selling comics, toys. I got this really badass 3D printed freaking Wolverine skeletal arm. I can't wait to get that to the house and go find some chrome spray paint and get that all colored up. And then Do you remember Johnny Five?
Johnny
You
Five, of
remember?
course, Johnny Five.
Oh, I got an awesome 3D printed freaking Johnny Five from the second movie. Um,
Nice.
you know, so
How
I
big
oh
we
yeah,
talking? How big we talking?
I can go. Give me 2 seconds. I'll go grab
Oh,
both of them and
all
show
right.
you.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got show and tell tonight. Uh, with that, what while he steps away, guys, how's your week been? How's everybody out there? Let me know what you've been up to. What there's a lot of craziness happening out in the world right now.
Yeah.
So let us know how you're doing. All right, show us. Oh, Johnny Five. Johnny Five's alive.
And it's partly articulated too, so I can move his
Very
arms
cool.
and even his you I don't want to press my luck, but his little
Snap.
re- yeah, that'd be so devastated. But how he replaced his laser cannon with a toolbox in the
Yeah,
second movie.
that's right.
But yeah, it's definitely badass. I
Do
got
the
to clean it
treads
up a little
move?
bit,
Is that asking too
Huh?
much? Do the treads
What's
move?
that? No, they look like they do, but no, they don't.
Yeah, I
They're a
figured.
separate piece, but you know. And then here is the tour de force. Look at this thing. This
That's
this is this is right out of something like you remember the original Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon or excuse me comic books from the late 80s, early 90s when the Guardians of the Galaxy were actually in the future
Mhm.
and they go into that one forget who it was, but they had all these remnants from the present day heroes and one of them was a skeletal arm of Wolverine. Yes. That.
I I think that is so cool,
Yes.
but there's
Yeah.
one inaccuracy with it.
What's that?
I mean, if that were in fact Wolverine's decapitated arm, uh
Sure.
the blades wouldn't be extended, they'd be retracted because it needs the muscles and all that to push the
True.
blades forward. So if it were just the bones, they'd be like right back
Yeah.
there.
But, but think about it like this. If I hear you, I totally hear you. But think about it like this. If this was my trophy, say I killed Wolverine,
Mhm.
wouldn't you not take it to somebody to kind of manipulate the claws to be out like
Like a
this?
taxidermist be like, yeah, I want the claws out. Just glue
Yeah.
them in place.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's even
uh,
and what's badass is it's even got how Wolverine's sometimes depicted with the little sheaths in his knuckles instead of coming
yeah,
through the knuckles like Hugh Jackman's claws. It has the little sheaths. So, yep, I'll be
it's pretty cool,
definitely
man.
finding some chrome spray paint and making that look accurate.
Very cool. If you don't mind sharing, how much something like that run you?
This,
Mm-hmm.
this alone, 10 doll hairs. 10.
$10.
Johnny
Wow,
5, $10.
that's a good
And then I
deal.
grabbed something else. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it was Sunday. It was Sunday after lunchtime. So, of course, and the con closed at like, I think 4. So, of course, everybody's beginning their shutdown and they're trying to clear out. And, um, the only one that charged me full price for the stuff was I did go by the Balaverse booth and I bought a couple figures there. Of course, I didn't expect anything less. They were going to charge me full price. I'm not upset about that, but like, yeah, like I said, I bought these 2 items and something for my daughter, and the guy's like, hey man, because you're buying 3 things, $30. I'm like, deal.
Shit, yeah,
Um,
hell yeah, that's a good deal.
so yeah,
Uh,
I was
Billy wanted to
shocked.
know.
I was
Billy,
shocked.
Billy said, "How much in debt did you go?"
See, here's the beautiful thing. I'm on a government trip. I've got a per diem, and I drove, and I'm going to make almost a full paycheck from this trip, and a portion of that went to
Of
ZoloCon.
course, of
So
course. Yeah,
the government paid for it.
yeah, you gotta get your slice. You gotta get your slice in there.
Yeah,
Um,
I gotta treat myself.
hey Corey, I just saw your comment. It says, "Sup? How you doing, CQ? I'm good. How you doing?" Da-da-da-da-da-da. And we're talking about exiles. Exiles. Exiles, wasn't that was EXILES, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or did
And
they
that
do it
was
with
a
like the
time to,
capital X
yeah.
Isles? I don't forget.
Well, there was two versions of the Exiles. There was one that spelled it EX yada yada yada. And that was the main timeline. And then when we went to Age of Apocalypse, that's when they spelled it X hyphen
Yes.
Isles.
Keith says, better dodge the Doge with that government paid trip to Comic Con.
Government
it's all about,
contractor.
hey, weekends, man. You can do it. It's your weekend. You do what you want. You do what you want. He's not
And
there during
besides,
work
I haven't
hours.
been I no, and on top of that, they're reimbursing me. So, and this is money that's authorized.
Yeah,
Just it's how I decided to spend it.
there you
Just
go.
like I decided to spend and go get $50 worth of pizza and cheesesteaks today in Baltimore. I mean, come on.
And the fact that you were in the area for this, you got to come out for
Yes.
Friday night FTX, man.
That was awesome. It
How
was a
good was
dude.
that?
Oh God, the table was that thing. That's awesome. That epic. And then that game, Fire Tower, I'll tell you this. If you watch the show, those 2 rounds that we played were great, especially when I committed freaking destroyed my own tower so I could come
Seppuku.
back as the spirit of vengeance.
And I've never
But
seen someone light themselves on fire before. It was interesting. It was interesting. Uh,
but
no,
I like that game so much, I ordered it.
yeah, but you're not the first to tell me that. Jake, who was here playing the game as well,
Yep.
he went ahead and ordered it, and he said he got the expansion pack too. He goes, it adds a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yep.
So if you out there missed FTX, you can go back and watch it on any of our channels. It's on our YouTube. It's on our Facebook. It's all on there. But we had a blast. The new table has finally arrived, and it was glorious. And we did play a new game called Fire Tower, which was a hell of a lot of fun. I've had multiple people reach out to me, and they're like, "Oh, send me like the link to that game because that thing looks awesome." And the guys that played it all loved it as well. So that will be, I think that will be a staple in the rotation. I mean, we still
It
have
should.
like, let me look over. We have like 8 games we haven't played yet. But as I've been kind of separating them as like games we really liked and games the audience liked, and so that's definitely going to go into the pot of games. So yeah, it was a fun time. It's a fun time. But yeah,
You want to talk about the last thing I suggested, or should save that for a future
yeah,
if
we're
we can
gonna.
actually pull it
Well,
off?
if I'm thinking what you're thinking, we're gonna pocket that one. We're gonna pocket that one
Okay,
for now.
so we're gonna table it.
We're gonna table it. Ah, giggity. He's got puns. He's so punny. So first up. Oh, do I got games in mind for next week? I do. I do. It the one I'm have in mind is actually playing Oregon Trail, the board game. And I think it's because we're gonna have 6 people here. And that's a game that you can have up to 6 people playing. So I figured that's kind of a good game. So we might have another special guest next
Yeah.
week.
Hey,
So
you do need to play a game where you can play this time, because even though you were the Dragon Master,
inside joke. Inside joke. Dragging these
I'm gonna go back
nuts.
and watch the episode.
Yes. All right. So for this week, which by the way, you guys out there, I mean, I've collected my thoughts of the week, but please, if there's anything pop culture related from this past week that you want us to talk about, drop it in the chats. Did you see a show you really liked, a movie you really liked, a game you really liked? I know I saw Scott, I think it was Scott, who was saying he's like addicted to the because I was talking about Balatro last week, and he tried it and is now addicted to it like crack. I believe he says Scott, I've been on Balatro and Kingdom Come Deliverance like a crackhead is on crack. It is a really, 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 really addictive game. Really addictive game. So play at your own risk. It's, it's like
Yeah.
those people that are like, oh, I played World of Warcraft and I lost 8 hours. And it's like, it's not questing kind of like that, but it's literally, it's almost like I can see what people in the slot machines, right? Where they're just over and over and over again. It's not, well, it's kind of like gambling, but it's not really gambling because it's not money. But yeah, it is highly, highly addictive. So yeah, so anything you guys pop culture related, by all means, put it in the chats. We can talk about it. A couple of things that I have. I don't know. I mean, you watched The Boys. I'm assuming.
Oh yes.
Okay,
Oh
everybody,
yes.
we
I'm
love
caught
The
up.
Boys. The Boys, great show, absolutely phenomenal show. Did you also watch the show Supernatural? Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I've watched not all the way through, but yes, I've
You've watched
watched
Supernatural.
episodes.
So obviously you know the love that there is between like Misha Collins and Jared Padalecki and what's his name? God, the other one. Anyway, the three of them,
Yes.
they're like the three amigos. And
Hmm.
talking about the teaser trailer with Supernatural. Well, there's a mini reunion kind of happening because the boys of Supernatural are joining the boys of the boys. So obviously last season they added God, what was it? Soldier Boy was added to the
Hmm.
show, and now the other two actors from Supernatural will be joining the boys in the next season. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about
That's
that.
gonna be awesome. It's gonna be
Uh
awesome.
there Keith says he's curious how they're going to tie it into the Supernatural universe. I don't think they are. I don't think they
I'll,
are. I
I'll give him an.
think go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I think at best you're gonna get an Easter egg or
Yeah.
a quick nod.
Yeah, like a the car kind of drives by in a scene or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I think they're playing completely different characters. I just think that it's sort of a reunion of sorts just
Mhm.
to have the actors together. But I don't even think they're going to be like big full-time characters. I think they'll be like kind of
Yeah.
one-offs just to do it. But isn't the first time won't be last I'm not evacuating. Isn't the first time won't be the last I'm not evacuating. All right. Cool, man. Uh where are you evacuating from? Or where are you being told to evacuate from? Probably wasn't I think it was like I saw something on the news. One of the states is like under wildfires, but not California this time.
Oh
It's like North
no.
Carolina.
It's a southern portion of North Carolina,
Yeah.
and then South Carolina, and it was like near Myrtle Beach. There was stuff on the news over the weekend. People flying into Myrtle Beach, they looked out the side of the plane, and it's all this state park is all on fire. Well, hey, with any luck, you know the southeast mid Atlantic area is supposed to get a ton of rain
Yeah.
tomorrow, so maybe that'll help.
Yeah. Um, oh, hey, Pete. Pete says, did you hear about John Cena? Yeah, that was a big thing this week. Now, I have been like, I used to be super into wrestling, like super,
Mhm.
super into it. Late 80s, all through the
Yep.
90s, and even the early 2000s. Super, super into it. And then obviously I joined the military and then I kind of fell off of it. Uh, but being that when I was injured, I was in Walter Reed Army Medical Center here in DC, and they used to have all these people kind of visit, and ball players and cheerleaders and all that. And anytime the WWE was in town, like the wrestlers would come through. So like I got to meet Rey Mysterio, John Cena, like all these guys. And in fact, once they brought us to they were in the DC area, so they were at the Verizon Center, I think it's called. And they brought a bunch of us from the hospital. They treated us so good. Like they VIP'd us over in like a party bus. We got to go backstage. We hung out with the crew. We hung out with a lot of the superstars, taking pictures, autographs, all that. And then they put us front row. Like if you watch wrestling, you camera side, you see the faces of like the people in the front row. we were like camera side, so like you saw like the back of our heads. But they did at one point do like a cool camera shot of us, and then they put up like Wounded Warriors, and they did like a cool thing.
Yeah.
Funny story from that is that anybody that knows, wrestling, especially back then, pyro was a huge thing, right?
Yep.
And so when it was Raw, and when Raw kicked off, it was like, it was intense. It was intense because you had the all that stuff. And I guess I was one of the few actual wrestling fans that knew what to expect, because we're all sitting in the front row, and then you just hear boom, and the whole row goes and just falls over because they think they're fucking PTSD and we're under attack and shit. And so there explosions and everything, and I'm like, guys, it's okay. And the cool thing about it is, because I guess security saw, or somebody saw and alerted security, and so checked on everybody. And it was so funny. They brought us backstage after that, and I guess somebody told somebody. It's not like we said anything, but somebody told somebody about what happened. They canceled the pyro for the rest of the show. So when you had guys like Kane back when he was in there, and he came out, no pyro, like anything with a loud bang, they can't, which I thought was so cool of them, right? Like that's such a cool thing to do, just out of respect. I think it's silly, to be honest, because like once everybody was backstage, they're fine. You barely hear anything. But anyway, all that stemmed from Pete saying about did you hear about John Cena? So yeah, so apparently the big thing is like Cody Rhodes is the big baby face in the industry right now, and The Rock came back and he kind of took the heel, and he's Hollywood Rock and blah blah blah. And John Cena, who's had a 25 plus year career at this point, has always been a babyface. Always. Even when he was booed, he stayed a babyface. And for the first time in his career, which currently he's on a farewell tour, he said, like, I'm doing one more year and I'm done. I'm retiring. He's on his farewell tour, and for some reason, I guess they thought this was the time. So he made the switch, and he beat up Cody Rhodes and took on the heel personality, and did the whole scowl. And it's funny because I don't know if you've ever seen John Cena kind of scowl. I think he's had this permanent like good guy smile on his face for so long. His face just doesn't look natural. He's like John Cena, and I'm mean. Yeah. He didn't know, but does not feel like Hollywood Hogan coming to the WC. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, like the whole when Hogan switched after his entire career of being a good guy. It's very much like that, and I think it'll end like that as well. So, but yeah, so that's the big story of the week, is that John Cena, was it not always when he first started he was a heel? He kinda, yeah, but nobody even knew who he was back then. But since John Cena's been popular, he's been a babyface. But yes, technically when he first came out, he was a heel until, the crowd started loving him. The Cena face memes have been top tier. Yes, they have. Yes, they had. Cena is a good dude. Yes, he is. He is a very good dude. I've met him a couple times. He signed some stuff for me and took pictures, and very, very cool dude. Very nice dude. I mean, for the most part, they all are. I won't name names, but I remember we were backstage, and there might have been a few of them that were like, you those disabled vets? And we're like, yeah. You got any Vicodins on you? And we're like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, you couldn't. He's like, it's like the way somebody would bum a cigarette. These guys are like, hey, you got any pills on you? And I was like, fucking hell, man. And it was some big names at the time. There were some big names. Yeah, so that was interesting. But yeah, no, most of them are good people, and really nice. And you catch them on a good day, and they're real nice. But anyway, What else? What else? So we got our first look at Aaron Pierre as John Stewart and Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan in DC's upcoming Green Lantern series. I probably should have had this prepped, but you know what? We can wing it. Have you seen the image? Have you seen what they look like?
Yes.
Okay. What
Yes.
thoughts while I put it on? While I put it up, what are your thoughts?
It looks now, I don't know. I mean, Aaron Pierre, okay. I always thought John Stewart was a little bit, a little bit more
More
muscular.
muscular, yeah.
Yeah. Like, because he was John Stewart has always been a, former Marine. Like, I guess he could have, Aaron Pierre
Not
could
all
pass as a
Marines are
Marine.
are giant husk of a man. There are many
But,
thinner
but
Marines.
this, Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, man, to me, it kind of looks like Hal Jordan on the end of his career. He's kind of like about ready to hang up the ring.
All right, I've got the picture
You
up now.
know, so
So on the top, you've got the two of the characters that they're playing on the bottom or top of the actors in costume. This is an actual still from the show, and on the bottom of the characters they're
yeah,
playing. A lot of people, obviously, if you zoom in on the hand, you can actually see the Green Lantern ring that Hal
right.
Jordan is wearing. Um, I mean, as far as casting goes, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I agree
Yeah,
with you that he definitely appears to be uh kind of aging out.
yeah,
Um he definitely seems a little older. So
yeah.
maybe this is kind of a passing of the torch kind of story, you know.
Perhaps.
I never okay, admittedly I'm not the biggest DC guy. Um I never understood the concept of the Green Lantern. Well, I from what I understand, they're the police of the universe. I get that. It would seem there was like one per sector, not even one per planet. It was supposed to be like one per sector, and yet somehow we got like 15 Green Lanterns on Earth. So
Yeah.
I never understood. Uh,
It was like Hal Jordan was the first Green Lantern from the Green Lantern Corps,
mhm,
and then something happens to him, or rather, he goes out. Maybe it was Hal Jordan went out in space to do stuff, so they bring in John Stewart to cover down on Earth, and then somewhere at that time period, freaking Guy Gardner gets a ring, and everybody dislikes him because he's a real jerk. And
mhm.
then Hal Jordan goes crazy, basically. And there was a point in time in DC where everybody, this was the '90s, and everybody was like losing their powers and changing their set and all this stuff. But all the Green Lanterns basically get depowered, and then there's finally one left, and that was Kyle Rayner. And then that went on for, I don't know, a decade or so, and then they brought them all back, and then they picked up a couple more Green Lanterns on Earth, and um, on Saturdays and sometimes on Sundays, I moonlight as a Green Lantern. It's like if I got nothing going on, I just put the power ring on and I
Yeah.
go do stuff.
Do you think like I know we don't have much to go on, but do you think this is going to be good? Do you think this is it's going to go well?
You know, the bar's set pretty low for Green Lantern.
I mean, agreed, agreed. As much as I love Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah. Um,
that
I
was a
think it,
train wreck.
the way I've heard it described, it's going to be like a buddy cop type deal. So these two are gonna, you know, maybe the simply, I get it. It's a simple still. It could be from any point. I mean, this scene could be like 10 seconds later, they're fully powered on and they've got their Green Lantern costumes on. But I don't know. I kind of get the vibe that maybe this will be, they're trying to figure something out. Their powers aren't really working, or they don't have enough juice. I got a feeling it's going to be like I don't know, a lethal weapon or something like that.
So here's my biggest frustration when it
Yeah.
comes to shows and movies like this.
Yeah.
When and we see it all the time. Like they will say, okay, we're gonna bring in so and so to play Batman, or we're gonna bring so and so to play Spider Man, and we're gonna do this movie. And it's like, how do we get him out of the costume, right? Like, how do we depower them? How do we? Because and I get it from maybe an acting standpoint. You're like, well, I want people to see my face, or I want to show my
Yeah.
range, or whatever it is. But it's like the whole reason you went to see a Spider-Man movie was to see Spider-Man do what the fuck Spider-Man does. I didn't go to see Tobey Maguire be, my Peter Parker, man. I'm so clumsy, man. Like, we want to see Spider-Man, you know? So I don't know.
You mentioned Tobey Maguire. I think they did a good job in those first couple movies where they battle damage his mask from the
Sure.
fight. That's, and that's, but yeah, you absolutely are right. We
It,
always have these where they
It's
get him
one
out of
thing to have a
costume or get,
battle damaged. I'm talking like the scenes where they're not a superhero and not in costume. But
ow, ow,
like you
ow.
said, like I think this will be a show where they're like, "Oh no, I have this amazing power that makes me be able to do whatever I want, however." Oh, but the way we charged it, we'll have to go on a road trip to figure out how to charge. Somebody stole the battery, or you know what I mean? And it's like, and then the whole show is them without powers. So it's just a bunch of dudes walking around,
Yeah.
maybe getting into street fights, like psh, psh, Um, I don't know, man. It irks me. It irks me. Look at how. Okay, perfect example. Think about the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon. Think about the Batman animated series. Think about X-Men.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we got moments of them out of costume. Yes, we got moments of them dealing with whatever. But the majority of the time, they were in costume doing superhero shit. And we loved those cartoons. We loved them.
Right.
And it is the complete opposite when it comes to some of these shows and movies where it's like the whole thing is like, how can we limit? And I get it because from a budget standpoint, especially something like Green Lanterns, it's
Yeah.
got to be CGI. You can't do it any other way, or Spider-Man swinging through the city and all these different things. Like they have to be CGI. Batman's probably the least needed of CGI, but Superman and all these other powerful people, you have to use it. And so I don't know, man. I just maybe I'm getting into my old man era, but I just it bugs me. It bugs me. Don't tell us you're giving us a Green Lantern show and they're barely Green Lantern in it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because like even the first Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man, he doesn't like put on the suit that we know and love till like halfway through the movie, and
Right.
and because obviously you got to do the origin story and the background and the motivation and all the blah 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 blah. But man, it's just we got a question from the chats here. Let me switch back to our main screen. Question from the chats. Edward says, why doesn't Hawkeye and the Black Widow have any visible scars? Well, depends if you're talking about in the comics or in the MCU, because two different answers. In the comics, they absolutely do. There are times when you see them take off their shirts and they are just rippled with scars and dents and all types of stuff. In the movie, they've established, you got to remember, in Age of Ultron, they established when he got ripped open from the side, Hawkeye, they had that, mesh fucking organic synthetic skin. And so now you have that excuse for everybody, right? Nobody will show visible injuries because they get patched up with superhuman nanotech super duper
Yeah.
whatever, so
Except for Hawkeye needing hearing aids when you went to the TV show to,
well, you
you
can't
know,
inject nanosynthetic tissue into his eardrums, can you? I don't know.
Guess not.
I guess not. I guess not. Captain Wayne says, I can't believe how bad they screwed up Rogue in the X-Men movies.
Well, that can be explained away. I know
Oh.
what he's going at, but that can be
Okay.
explained away. And the
Sure.
simple part of it was Rogue's powers really came from right before her turn from being a villain in the comics. She absorbed Carol Danvers' powers, and Carol Danvers was gone for a long time. Actually became binary. That's a whole different story. But I don't think Fox at the time had access to Carol Danvers. So how are you going to explain away Rogue having the ability for flight and super strength and all those powers? So that was one limitation.
Mm.
I mean, as much as I kind of like that character and Anna, I can never say her last name, Pinkett.
Yeah,
I,
okay.
anyways, as much as I liked her, you can't fully
Oh,
do the
Anna
character.
Paquin. Paquin.
Paquin, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. I was like,
But you can't do the character right. Maybe they should have picked another character, and I probably would have gone with me personally, Kitty
Mm.
Pryde.
Which, I mean, she did appear. She did appear in the
Oh, yeah, she
movies,
did.
you know. So it is what it is. What else? What else we got? I was just looking. So there was a report that came out that said the first next gen Xbox game has been reportedly revealed. According to a new report, the next gen Xbox console is releasing in 2026. We should be hearing about it any day now if that's true. Based on internal Microsoft documents, the next gen Xbox console is expected to arrive in 2028, is actually what it says. Wait, no. Is releasing in, yeah,
I read that article. Yeah.
yeah, 2028, alongside the PS6, but these documents are a couple of years old, and a new report alleges that these plans have dramatically changed. Report doesn't dive into why these plans have changed, but it's likely due to the underwhelming sales of the Xbox Series X, which has been trounced by PS5, yada, yada, yada. As for the next gen Xbox game leak, it is not a product of Xbox Game Studios. In other words, it's not a new Halo, nor a new Gears of War, or a new Forza game. It's also not coming out of Bethesda. So Microsoft, rumor has it, is it's going to be the Call of Duty is going to be like the game. You know, like when the new Xbox comes out, there's always like the Halo or the Gears of War that goes along with it. So the rumor has it that it's going to be Call of Duty. That's the big thing that brings out the next Xbox, which Captain Wayne says is the Xbox 900. Yes. I like thoughts on Mickey 17. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm very excited to see it. It's one of those where it's a weird thing that I'm very excited to see.
I'm intrigued.
I'm
We'll put it that
intrigued.
way.
Yes. That is a good assessment. I'm intrigued by the premise. And so I definitely do want to watch it. Funny enough, I'll be able to give you guys a review on, speaking of the boys earlier, Novocaine, which is starring what's his name? The kid from Quaid. Not Dennis Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid. Thank
Jack
you.
Quaid.
So Jack Quaid is coming out with a movie called Novocaine, where he basically plays Kick-Ass. He's basically Kick-Ass. So he's a guy who has no feeling, and so has to use the fact that he has no feeling to take down bad guys.
No sense. You say feeling. No sense of pain.
No sense of pain, right? There's no feeling. Not like no feelings like I'm dead inside. I mean literal has no feeling, can't feel things, no sense of pain. The severed nerves or whatever the hell it is. So I'll be seeing that on Monday. I got early pre-screening.
Wait, what day is that?
Monday in the Baltimore area.
But it's not a Tuesday?
Not a Tuesday. I know. I got the email. They're like, hey, do you want to come out to this thing? And it's always on Tuesdays. I don't know why, but they always do these pre-screenings on Tuesdays. So I was like, I'm going to have to miss another show. And I checked the date and I went, it's a Monday. So I will let you guys know.
Triple check it.
Yes, I will. And I have a guest next Tuesday, so I will be here. Come hell or high water. I have a guest on next. We have a guest. So I will not miss next week's show. And unless you and MadMike are going to be interviewing our guest. But so yeah.
We've already established my interviewing skills are not there.
Yeah. God bless you. We love you for what you provide. Archive was a surprisingly good movie. I forgot which streaming service. I have a bunch of them. So no show on Tuesday. Yes, there will be a show on Tuesday. Yes, there will be a show on Tuesday. What was the other movie I just saw? Oh, I think Apple TV, The Gorge. Have you seen The Gorge?
No, I didn't hear good stuff about it.
How do I feel about it? It's a movie, and I watched it. So I give it points for that. It had a runtime.
Okay.
It had actors and credits, so that makes it a movie. No, it wasn't that bad. Here's what's interesting for a movie like The Gorge. It had Miles Teller and God, that one chick that's everywhere now. God, what's her name? Anyway, that chick who plays like a Russian in every movie. The premise of the movie The Gorge is this ex-Marine world-class sniper who's now like a mercenary gets pulled in and they're like, hey, we need you for this super secret top secret mission. And he gets airdropped in the middle of nowhere. And Anya Taylor-Joy, thank you, Anna Taylor-Joy.
I was gonna wait you finish, but yes,
Anna Taylor-Joy. And so they drop him in, and he goes, and it's this like watchtower overseeing a gorge, and there's only one guy there, and he's like, "Hey, you're my replacement." They do like a year tour. So the one guy leaves, and the one guy comes in, and there's the gorge, and on the other side of the gorge, there's another watchtower. And it turns out to be this Anna Taylor-Joy, this chick, Russian, Soviet chick, whatever, sniper, assassin, whatever. And like their job is to just oversee the gorge and not to make sure nothing goes down there, but to make sure nothing comes out. And like the whole thing is like they hear sounds and like the walls have like guns and stuff because things try to crawl out of the gorge. And I think they call them the Hollow Men. The Hollow Men or something like that. Or the Hollow, something like that. Anyway, I found the first half of that movie actually quite interesting because there's this mystery and this intrigue. And then there's this sort of like, they're not supposed to communicate, the two watchtowers. But you know, the girl's a rebel. So she like scribbles a message and he's like looking at it with binoculars. And so they kind of start communicating that way. And then things happen. I found that part of the movie actually kind of intriguing and good and interesting and fun. Then something happens. And if anybody's going to watch the movie, I don't want to spoil it. But then something happens and the tone of the movie really changes. It changes from this like, interesting kind of back and forth, very intimate, mysterious kind of thing. And it just like, tonally the movie changes and it kind of becomes something quite different. The FX were kind of sick. Yes. The special effects were top notch. They spent a ton of money on the special effects for sure. The second half of the movie, it was fine. If you like the Fast and the Furious, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I felt like I could have watched more of the first half, like play that out and be more intriguing. But anyway, it's a decent movie. Not a bad movie. I don't regret watching it. Just it kind of went into like cliche action movie tropes, and I just like, eh. I was digging what they were putting down early. Um,
You know what movie I regret watching recently?
ooh, please tell me.
Venom: The Last Dance.
I told you. I
Well,
told you that was a waste of time. Listen.
I mean, I waited. At least I didn't go see it in the theater.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hello, Jenny. I see you out there. Uh, so thoughts on the Venom: The Last Dance movie? I mean,
I think it was just unnecessary. It's just like all those other
that's
Sony-ish
every Sony movie.
Spider-Man.
That's kind of their go-to move. Just unnecessary.
Yeah, but it was unnecessary. And then the post-credit scene and stuff like that. It's just like, where are you going with this? What are you doing? It's like, I don't know. It's like a bunch of chimpanzees are over there running it and breaking. They're just pooping in their hands and throwing it at the wall to see what sticks.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Well, yeah, we'll. I'll believe it when I see it or don't
Yeah,
see it.
that whole Sony universe is gone, is dead. They're done. After the mess that was Craven, they're done. I have to resend a previous comment I made.
Oh,
They released images and the first trailer for the Minecraft movie. And it was grotesque and demonic looking and not funny in my opinion. And speaking of unnecessary, felt very unnecessary and very against what Minecraft is. And I made that statement, and it is what it is. I have to say, the most recent trailer that they released, I actually was like, oh, I kind of want to watch this now. Like whatever, like I don't know. Because I went back and I watched the first, and then I watched this one, and I'm like, why does this one disgust me and I want nothing to do with it? And this one I find rather interesting. Say what you will, there was a lot less Jason Momoa in the new trailer, and I feel like that worked for the trailer very well. Where the first one had a lot of Jason Momoa, and I was turned off by the whole thing. So, whatever that says about me, I don't know. The trailers probably were made by different teams, but yeah, and I get it because especially something like this, you can't, unlike a typical movie where you're like, we can shoot extraneous scenes and then like
yeah.
use that in the trailers to not give away the story. Something like this, which is completely generated, there are no extraneous scenes. There are no bonus scenes that they can kind of throw into the credits. They only have what they have. And then you have to walk the fine line of not spoiling the movie and this and that. Whoever did the first trailer should be fired. Okay. And whoever did this most recent trailer should work forever. Cause I actually found myself, I was like, I kind of want to see this. I kind of want to watch this now. I have a feeling I won't like it. Because if I didn't like the first trailer, that means there's stuff in there that I don't like. And they just didn't use that stuff in the second trailer. And that might be all the stuff that I like. I don't know. I don't know. Have you seen the new trailer? Like does it give you
No.
a feeling one way or the other? No.
I've seen some still images. I've seen some other promotional stuff. I'm not interested remotely in this movie. The only thing that I was interested in um, was getting a Jack Black action figure, and I was this close the other day. Um, I was in Target and I ran across it, and
And
it
you
was
didn't do it?
no. partly because it looks great. It looks like Jack Black. The sculpt is there. The facial, the digital printing they did with the face looks great. It looks like Jack Black. It's it's about 4 inches and it was $10. And I was like, do I need Jack Black? And part of me was like, you need Jack Black. You need this.
We all
And I
need
was
a
like,
little
yeah,
Jack
but
Black.
he won't scale with anything. If he was about 6 inches, that would have been a done deal, and he would have gone on probably with my GI Joe classified figures, you know. But
Uh,
so I passed on him. Maybe if I go back and I see Jack Black, maybe I'll give it a second look and a second think, and maybe I'll grab it.
oh
But
goodness.
yes, I've seen it. And I've seen the toys, and there is a Jason Momoa figure too. But he comes in a with a gimmick that maybe spoils portion of the movie. Um, then I mean, then there's your other typical Minecraft type stuff, and it's like Minecraft never interested me. Um, if my kid begs me to take her, maybe I'll go see it. And it'll
Right.
be one of those movies I just sit there and I turn off my brain for 2 hours. Um,
It's most movies
otherwise,
nowadays. So, first off, Scott says they promised CQ the new Xbox, and now he's shilling out that to promote that Minecraft movie because it is owned by Microsoft. No, no, I'm not a shill. I've always been very honest when it comes to even when people give me free stuff or shoot, they gave us that free Hello Kitty game. I could have panned it, man, but it was actually kind of fun. It was actually kind of we played. It was actually kind of. Uh, I've been given things that I've played or tested out that I haven't talked about because I disliked it so much that I was like, if I try to talk about it, it's gonna come out very badly. So we're not gonna talk about it. As Susan said, it's hashtag Fat Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Blessed be all your beautiful curves. Thank you. Thank you. I know I have many curves, I love it. Next CQ, next week CQ will have Minecraft merch on his wall. Yep, this is all gonna be like creepers and Steves and a bunch of other
oh, oh,
Minecraft
too
stuff.
bad. Too bad I'm not coming over next weekend because I would just wait until you went to go freaking use the bathroom and just slap it up there real quick, and hopefully you didn't notice.
Yeah, yeah. My whole background's gonna be like a Minecraft background now. Hey man, if you're out there, Microsoft, if you're out there, whoever the movie producers are behind Minecraft, if you want an easy shill, come get your boy. Come holler at your boy. I'll put on a Steve head and have my little sword and all that stuff. But anyway, uh, Matthew Lillard has had a bit of a resurgence. Are you seeing this? He's
Well,
popping up in quite a few things. I mean, yes, he did the Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know if you've heard of that show, Good Girls. He plays one of the leads in that.
yep.
Um, there was something else he came out with, and then it was announced he's coming back to Scream. He's bringing Stu back to Scream, which I have a theory and I have a bet going on with Nemo about this theory. So if you will indulge me for a moment, I don't know. Are you a Scream aficionado? Are you a big fan of the Screams
I
franchise?
haven't. I've seen the first four. My wife just rewatched them, but she rewatched them out of order, and so she started with the newer stuff and then went back to the old stuff. But yes, Scream from the first four movies.
Sure. So obviously, the first because I think they've done six now. The
Yeah.
first six all have random different killers. And in some of the movies, they try to tie it into like where he was my cousin's uncle, and I think
Hmm.
in the most recent one, spoiler alert, in the most recent Scream, it was like it turned out to be like three killers, and it was like the dad and the two kids or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
and in it, they talked about like they brought props from like all the other movies, and they were like, yeah, this was the knife from so and so, and this was the hood from so and so, and like they were really big into it. Uh, so for this new one, they announced the return of like I forget what's her Naomi Campbell or whoever was from the original. Like
Nev
she's coming
Campbell.
back. Nev Campbell, thank you. Naomi Campbell. She's the supermodel, I think, right? No. Anyway,
Yes.
Nev Campbell. So they announced, yeah, Matthew Lillard's coming back as Stu, and they announced a few other people. I have a theory. And the theory is that they're going to lean heavily into that Stu is alive and he's helping the killers and he's with it. Hey, Jake, how you doing? And like that's gonna play well. You're gonna hear his voice and you're gonna see the mask and
Yeah.
he's gotten back, kind of thing. I think they're gonna pull somewhat from real life, and it's gonna turn out to be like an AI. Like that there is a killer, there's a human killer doing these things, but they're using
Yeah.
like voice AI bots to psychologically torture, like with the voices of the different killers. So, yes, he is back in the movie because they're going to use his actual voice and maybe even his likeness and things like that. But I don't think he's actually in the movie, if that makes sense. I think this is a ploy, a feint, if you will, a misdirect, and him and some of the other old killers who we know are dead, they're just using like archival footage to replicate their voices and mess with the heroes. So I think that's gonna be the big twist, is that it's like all AI and stuff. I have no idea. I have no internal knowledge of this. If I turn out to be right, which I think I am, it is purely just off of observationally speaking. I don't know anything about this movie, so don't blame me if I'm right. Go ahead.
I think Scream's just gonna take a page out of all these other franchises, and it's the multiverse.
The multiverse. So when someone summoned a portal and all these killers from past movies, why fuck it? Why go time travel? That's an even bigger trope, right? It's these guys are being
Yeah.
pulled out of time to come battle out to see who's the best. Dude, honestly though, I just convinced myself I would totally be into a movie where like you have kind of like a Watcher situation where like
Mhm.
he brings in all of the killers from like all to battle and see who is like the ultimate killer. Like I would totally be into that. I would totally be into that. That is there used to be a series way back when on YouTube, an animated series called it was like superhero battles or something like that, where this
Oh,
guy would draw these like intricate battles between like Laura Croft and the Matrix and X-Men
oh,
and and
oh! I thought you were talking about superhero beatdown by
no,
Bat
no,
the
no.
Sun.
That's cool, but no. I mean, there's like it was an animated, and it wasn't
Oh,
just two people going at it. It was like a coliseum. Like this eternal being summoned all these heroes from throughout fiction, and they
okay.
fought in the coliseum. So, but it was crazy because you'd have like Neo from the Matrix, and then there'd be
Oh,
fucking Professor X, and then all these like Judge Dredd, and it was wild.
was it a one thing, or was it a huge group?
It
Or
was
excuse
like it
me,
was like a battle royale. It was like the
but was it a one off, or was it a whole like series?
um I think they released it episodically, but it was one series, like, start to end was one long series, but I think, they did it in small chunks because there's a lot of animation and editing
Right.
and voicing and
I think I have. If we're talking about the same thing,
yeah.
I think I've
It
seen
was
that, and that
cool.
was
It
pretty
was cool.
interesting.
It was cool. And then that got so popular that they did an evil version. So instead of heroes, it ended up being like it was like Voldemort and Darth Vader and
Yeah.
like Chucky, and like it was a whole evil version too. It kind of reminded me. Oh God, we're going on a huge tangent, but it kind of reminded me of Secret Wars. Where it was like Battle World, and they brought in all the people to fight to see
Yep.
who's going to be the ultimate champion, whatever. Anyway, long story
Anyways,
short, The whole reason I even got on this tangent was Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard's in everything nowadays. And it just was announced that he has been cast in season 2 of the new Daredevil show. Because Daredevil Born Again,
Right.
which drops, you want to talk about it? Drops this week, today, right now, 2 hours, something like that?
It dropped 2 minutes ago.
It dropped to, don't you leave. Don't you leave. But yes, Daredevil Born Again just dropped on Disney Plus, the first episode of it anyway. You can watch it after this. We'll go a little longer. We'll watch it after this. But it's so good, apparently. They've already greenlit a second season, which goes into production next week. And Matthew Lillard has been cast in a undisclosed role. Yes.
So since the episodes are live now, I've got good news to report because the first 2 episodes have dropped. Episode 1 is 1 hour and episode 2 is 49 minutes.
All right. There you go. We got almost 2 hours of Daredevil to watch. That's going to be good. I like it.
I hope
got-
the only thing I hope for this series
Mhm.
is that the theme song is either comes back and it's like season 4, or it's at least kind of remixed how like they did when they brought X-Men 97 back. It's the same theme song, but it's
like
remixed.
an updated version.
Yeah,
I
'cause
I
that's
think it will be. I don't think they're going to use the same theme song just because it's now we're talking about behind the scenes stuff, but from a business standpoint, this is not a continuation of that show. And they have to do that very intentionally because that comes down to money. There are certain rights and protections where if they continued that show, there's certain guarantees for those actors. Whereas this is a whole new show, and therefore they don't get the same guarantees and back end stuff. So because of that, they wouldn't use the same exact song. They might use a riff on it, a spin on it. Like I totally dug the, have you seen the animated Spider-Man, the new one? Have you watched it at all?
No, I still haven't sat down and watched it.
Surprisingly good. I was actually
Yeah.
surprised how much I enjoyed it. And they open with a very cool riff on like, if you took like the classic, like Spider-Man,
Mhm.
like that old, and then you took like the 90s era heavy metal Spider-Man intro, and then you kind of mushed them together and then kind of put them through like a Today filter. They
Yeah.
nailed with like a hip hop kind of rap overlay. I think it's good. I think it's really good. They did a great job with it, and good series. Highly recommend it. I mean, I know it's a cartoon. I know it's meant for kids, but it's actually really good. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So we'll see. We'll see how that all shakes loose. Let's take a short break because your boys gotta go tinkle. So I've been staying hydrated. Where's my bottle of water? I've been staying hydrated. I gotta go use the bathroom. Guys, hey, Michael and Jeremy steal your podcast. What's up, guys? My God, I haven't talked to those guys in a while. They're saying Venom is better. You're funny. You're so funny. Good to see you guys, man. I haven't done something with those guys in a while. Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? Yeah, boy. Well, everybody's like, oh shit, it's out. I'm out. Have a good night. See ya. Bye. Everybody's I'm not actually going to the bathroom. I'm just actually going to watch the episode. I'll be right back after 2 hours. I'll be right back. Now we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have more show. Talk about more stuff. What's going out there? What do you want us to talk about? We'll let you guys decide what we talk about. So hang tight, and we'll be back with more show right after this.
Hey, you there? Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, would you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
In the shadows of the city bright, where heroes rise and take the fight, there's a voice that breaks the night. It's CQ with the insight. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends in those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. From the comics to the silver screens, talking legends and those crazy scenes, pop culture trends and hidden themes. CQ reveals what it all means. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Marvel at the twists and turns, villains play and heroes learn. Every episode we'll discern lessons from the past to learn. Games we play and books we read, CQ's wisdom's what we need. Memories that make us bleed, together we will take the lead. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight. Pop culture warrior here to ignite, guiding through the tales of light, with CQ leading the charge so bright. We're ready for another flight.
Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hey, everybody, we're back. We're
Hey.
back. So, go ahead. Tell the people what you were just telling me when we were out there. Go ahead.
So on our potty break, I cheated and went to Disney Plus. And two things I can report from the first episode of Daredevil Born Again. One, the opening credits do not come until about 15 minutes in the episode. So that means you get a good meaty opening, or as they call them, what do they call them? Teasers? Episode teasers?
Well, are you talking about like a recap, or are you talking about like
No, no.
the
Oh no,
open?
this appeared. I scrolled through it. I didn't really listen to anything, so I didn't spoil it. But it just, whatever that is, the opening before the credits, you got a good 15
Yeah,
minutes. And then two, it's a riff on the original theme song. I didn't listen to it all, just long enough to go, yep, that's it.
yeah.
And then I clicked out of it.
A
But
cold
so
open. Cold open. That's
cold
what.
opening. There you
Yeah,
go. But so that is for me, that's a good sign. I just hope the episodes hold up, and this could be good. This
yeah,
could be
yeah.
good. I've always liked Charlie Cox. I always liked Vincent D'Onofrio. Um, so it could be a real good run.
Yeah. For those at home that can see, this is a poster. Uh, Michael and Jeremy steal your podcast. You have a question for me? Go ahead. Put it in the chat. This poster here is the original Daredevil teaser image that Netflix did. So, like it says, Marvel's Daredevil Netflix. That was done by Joe Quesada, who was, Marvel editor in chief and very famous for a lot of the artwork he did. But he drew that. They made it into a teaser poster, and it's actually signed by the entire cast of Daredevil season one. So, like, it's got D'Onofrio, it's got Charlie Cox, it's got Foggy and Karen, and then it also has in the top corner, I got Quesada himself, the old Marvel editor in chief, to sign it as well, since he was the artist that did it. So, yeah,
One
I'm excited.
one could say you sold your soul to the devil himself to get that.
I mean, there was definitely a devil involved, but it wasn't the devil.
Devil of
Uh,
Hell Kitchen.
the devil of Hell's Kitchen. Captain Wayne says MTG is coming out with a Final Fantasy set. I saw that. It's only a matter of time till they go full Star Wars. They did. Was it Marvel or was it Spider-Man? But Magic the Gathering just did a. I think it was
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yes.
Yep.
It
It was
was
just
so cool.
it was
Mhm.
what, teaser images, right? They didn't drop the full set, right?
Let's see. Release date, prices confirmed. First details of the upcoming Spider-Man set. One of many collaborations recently announced by Wizards of the Coast following the high-profile Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy crossover. The next upcoming set, entitled Marvel's Spider-Man, includes a variety of different cards featuring the heroes, villains, sidekicks, and more from the web-slinging superheroes' particular corner of the Marvel Universe. Several new cards, including a few new commanders, a release date, format, legality, and several other aspects are now confirmed. Looks like it's set for release September 26, 2025. So, September of this year, Spider-Man comes to Magic, which puts it in line with MagicCon, which will be held in Atlanta. I should try to get out to MagicCon, man. Shit. That's one place I haven't
When
been.
is Magic Con?
September 26th to September 29 in Atlanta. So it'll be released between the Edge of Eternities in August and then Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is going to be in Q4 of this year. Man, that's cool though. I'm looking at some of the pictures. So there'll be a booster pack, $6.99, booster box, $2.09, collector booster set, collector booster box, a bundle, the Spidey Spectacular Showdown Scene box, which is 3 playback boosters, 6 traditional foil borderless scene cards, blah, 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 blah. Then there's welcome decks, pre-release packs, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, and all confirmed cards include the Sensational Spider-Man Legendary Creature card, There's the Green Goblin Nemesis legendary creature. Venom Deadly Devourer legendary creature. Doc Ock Evil Inventor legendary creature. Grasping Tentacles, which is a sorcery card. Pumpkin Bombs, which is an artifact. That's the only ones they've shown so far. This is the six cards that have been revealed. But that's pretty cool. That's interesting, and I think there's gonna be. I don't know if there are already, or there's going to be other Marvel cards as well. Like I like that, man. Like I get it. It's just a. What do you want to call? It's just a. It's a shill. It's a cash grab, right? They're just using our favorite things to get money for themselves. Totally get it. That being said, I totally want it.
It's Hasbro doing Hasbro.
Yeah,
It's
I really,
Hasbro doing Hasbro,
I
and
really
it's
want
because they have the license right now for the Marvel stuff through Disney. So, and they've got to do it now.
it. All
They
right.
must do it now.
Sorry. Yeah. So here's the question. This comes from Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, it's a great show. The whole premise of their show is they take over and do someone else's podcast. So years ago at this point, they even did a Pop Culture Warrior episode where they took over the podcast and did their own version of the Pop Culture Warrior. So go check them out. Really fun stuff that they do. So the question is, who is better? For whatever your own reasons, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone? Who is better? How you take that is up to you. And people in the chats, please put in the chats who is better, Schwarzenegger or Stallone. And again, this is on your own scale. It could be for whatever reasons. It could be based on, I don't know, height, acting prowess, who you'd fuck. I mean, whatever your category is, who is better, Schwarzenegger or Stallone? And let's give these guys an answer because they're eagerly awaiting. Keith says, better at what? Struggling with the English language? That's good. That's good. That's good. I like that. Man. Captain Way says Chuck Norris. The correct answer is Chuck Norris. There you go.
Yes.
Thoughts, Angry Elf? What you got, man? Wait, Stallone or Schwarzenegger, and make your case.
Stallone, or excuse me, Schwarzenegger. Even though, yeah, there's some good ones in there, Rambo and Rocky from Stallone. I've just always liked Arnold better. I mean, can't be Terminator, Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Jingle All the Way, Batman and Robin.
I mean, sure. we'll include that with all the rest. So you're going Schwarzenegger, hands down.
Absolutely.
Schwarzenegger. For me, so Keith out there says, in all seriousness, Sly has taken home Oscars for his work as a writer, so he gives it to Sly. It's tough because if I were talking purely who has more memorable movies, who's more intimidating, who, I mean, probably made more money overall in his career, it's probably Schwarzenegger. That being said, Captain Wayne says, I say Arnold too. I have to lean towards Stallone solely because, or I shouldn't say solely because, but because on top of being, an accomplished actor, he is a phenomenal writer. He is a director. He is a producer. He is a businessman. He is someone who has crossed mediums. He's done really well on TV and in movies. Go ahead. You have a thought.
And in the porn industry.
I'm gonna just Leave that one alone.
I just had to throw that in there. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna leave that alone. And Sly was pretty good in Copland as an actor. Yeah, Tulsa King is hugely popular right
The
now.
King's good.
It's hugely popular, and it shows his kind of range as he can play that tough bad guy with a heart of gold kind of thing. Because that's not something he's done a million times in his career. Real range, that guy. Like, if you're gonna say which of them has more range as an actor, while I both say they're limited, I give the nod to Sly. He's got 3% more range than yeah. Anyway,
I solely base it off of I mean, just there are more movies of Arnold's that I liked than Sly's. I mean,
sure.
and again, Sly's good. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing beats freaking Rocky 4. That was a great one.
It's rare, right? When you
Throw Mama from
number
the
4 was
Train
the
was
best
another
one.
one.
Throw Mama from a train.
You know, have you heard the story about that movie?
Please inform us.
So there's and I'm pretty certain both actors have confirmed this, but at the time when they were trying to find a lead actor for Throw Your Mama from the Train or Throw Mama from the Train, whatever it's called.
Yes,
Anyways,
I heard this.
Arnold started to, get the rumors out there that he was going for the film. So Sly starts lobbying really hard to get the movie, but
Right.
Arnold really wasn't. Sly gets the movie. The movie bombs because it wasn't a great one, and Sly realized, and it's afterwards he's like, "Yeah, Arnold got me on that
He
one."
got
And
me.
it's like I've
Yep.
seen it where they splice multiple interviews together talking about it, and Arnold's just having a ball because he got Sly on it.
Yeah. Keith makes a good point. Arnold Schwarzenegger has really, outside of like Terminator, doesn't have really franchises. He's done a lot of memorable parts.
Conan.
You call Conan the Barbarian a franchise? Really? No.
Yeah.
No.
There's
I-
multiple movies.
No. That's not a franchise. Nobody fucking remembers Freddy. We're talking, like, don't get me wrong, because like I think Arnold was great in Twins. Last Action Hero, some people they pan it. I loved Last Action Hero. I
movie.
loved it.
Yes.
Demolition Man. But that's Sly.
That's
Yes.
Sly.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm getting mine. Commando was Arnold.
The Eraser.
Yes. The one with no, that's Sly again. The one with Antonio Banderas when him and Sly were assassins. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
That's Sly.
Yeah. But anyway, my point being, like, Sylvester Stallone spent more time doing franchises, right? Because he was in the Rocky, the Rambo. He was in what's the other? Obviously he has the Expendables. He built franchises, so he spent more time doing those rather than Arnold, who kind of just hopped, other than Terminator, really kind of just hopped from movie to movie to movie. And again, I think they're both great. I think they both have their merits. I just think that Arnold is solely an action actor, and Sly has a bit more range and just has a bit more talent in the realm of writing, directing, producing. Yeah, but there you go, guys. That was your answer. That was a question from the Michael God, Jesus Christ, I said it wrong. Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast. True Lies. Yeah, that's another great one. True Lies. But yeah, no, I heard the same thing that Arnold had saw the Throw Your Mom Off a Train script and realized how bad it was from the get-go, and then just put it out there just to screw with him. And yeah, that's a good get. I like that. Let's see. What else do we have? We have Invincible is out. I'm big fan of Invincible. Season 3 is, I think, I think there's only like 2 episodes left.
Yep.
And you know what? Okay, there's, for those that watch it, for those that even care about this kind of stuff, there's this bashing it's taking right now for like bad animation for season 3, that it's not as good as like season 1, season 2. But it boils my blood because people bitched and bitched and bitched. And, oh, it's taking too long. It's taking too long. It's taking too long, because they wanted to do the animation right and do a good job. So now they rush it out to rush out the animation, and oh, the animation looks like ass and it's rushed, and the you can't please people. You just, you can't. It's fucking annoying. Like, just just shut up and enjoy. And like, honestly, you don't watch a show like Invincible because of like the great animation, right? You like the story. You like, you don't have to read. You don't have to pick up an Invincible book and read it. You can just listen and watch. So yeah. So the people that complain about, I don't have, I haven't.
Just,
I hope you
just keep,
bad things happen. I just hope bad
yeah.
things happen to you.
Good things come to those who wait. Like I want X-Men 97 season 2 to come out, but they're doing what they can. I guess they had to go back to square one or whatever. But I'd rather have them take their time and get us a good product than. I'm not a big Game of Thrones freaking fan, but the debacle was the final season of Game of
Oh
Thrones.
yeah.
And,
You can't please everybody. Can't
wow.
do it. Can't do it. I don't know. Sorry, I just had this thought. Let me check the chat. I just caught on to Mythic Quest, the series. It's hilarious. Yeah, Mythic Quest is a really good series. It's a really good series. If you go back, I had what was it? Imani? No, not Imani. God damn, I forgot her name. One of the actresses on that show. She was a guest. She was a guest a while back. You'll find that episode. It was a good episode. We talked a lot about stuff. But Mythic Quest is a good show. Yes. Made by Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Co-host or co-chairman of AFC Wrexham. Let's see. Listening to Bill Burr talk about F is for family was enough to me to never want to be a cartoon creator. All right. Disney is all about taking their sweet time. Well, Disney's not, or Invincible's not Disney, but we're referring to the X-Men 97 cartoon. Yes.
Yeah.
They do. Speaking of Marvel and Disney, because, people bash on me because we talk so much about it, but they're the only ones that have anything good to talk about. Did you see the leaks?
Oh yes.
You saw them? Did you
Yes,
look
yes,
at the
yes.
images? Did you peruse the images, or did you just hear about it?
Yes, yes. No, no, no. I saw the images and I saw a couple people talking about it, breakdowns or whatever they
Yes.
um
So for those at home that don't know, someone's in really big trouble. So to understand, before a movie goes into production, right, you have these guys writing scripts, you have these guys doing storyboards, right, because they're trying to map out what the movie's going to look like, and all the different
right.
things. So in order to facilitate everyone sharing a vision, they do a lot of these storyboarding, or they'll do what they call concept art. Now, concept art doesn't always mean that's what's going to be in the movie, but it's often pretty damn close. Because sometimes, like, they'll have concept art, like 7 different versions of one character's uniform, right? And that's how they'll, oh, we like this one, we don't like this one, change this, change that. And that's how they'll like settle on something and then design it and make it real. Concept art is something that should never be seen until like the DVD extras and they're like, oh, here's some other alternatives that we had for the Iron Man costume. You know what I mean? It would have looked like this, or Spider-Man's costume. This was a different alternate design.
Right.
You should never, ever see concept art prior to something coming out, because often there are very key, critical things in those images. Well, someone, we don't know who, but well, actually, that's not true. We know exactly who, and he is in so much trouble. But a person that apparently worked on some of the concept art for Avengers Doomsday, which is coming down the line. They're getting everything, their ducks in a row for that. But Avengers Doomsday, which is the next big Avengers movie, concept art for it has been leaked. Now, wondering if I should share these images. Should I share these images? You know what?
Yeah. What?
Screw it. Let's share some images. Let's see. Hang on a second. I'm going to figure out how to share. Yeah, there we go. Haha. All right, and I can probably blow this up too, so hang on. There we go. There we go. Nothing like editing live on camera. So, in this, if you don't want to be spoiled if you don't want to be spoiled, now's your chance to go away, I guess. Oh my God, this is not. Hang on a second. I got to fix this. That is weird. Oh my God, what is happening? Sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to make this look right on my other screen. Come on. Close enough. Close enough. Well, let me see if I can stretch that out a bit. Yeah, that's close enough. There we go. All right. So, sorry, guys. If you're watching on the vertical, apologies. I did not have that prepped. Were you talking about MTG? What commander are you running right now? Also, Arnold is way better. We were talking about MTG a minute ago. Volcanic Snowman. Ooh, that's a cool username. Nice. Okay. Here comes the ban. You're funny, man. So, in this first image, we have what looks like the court of Victor Von Doom, who we know is going to be played by Robert Downey Jr. Now, typically we see Doom in a green cloak kind of thing. Obviously, in this image, he's in white, which, again, if you're a comic book nerd like me, has significance, because there was a storyline in which Doom basically gained God powers.
Yep.
And he was called God Emperor Doom because, he's real subtle. He's
No ego there.
no ego, super humble, super subtle guy. And in God Emperor Doom, he was dressed in all white, just like this. Some other kind of key inferences that we're going to make from this image, that's Doctor Strange to his left, acting as some sort of sheriff, I'm going to say, because in the books, that's kind of what he was. And then off to his right would be Susan Storm, his queen, and their child, Franklin, which obviously we know is from Fantastic Four. Again, this, spoilers, but this really lets us know a lot of things. Lastly, off to the right, I'm guessing, I believe that's Yelena on the right, holding like the shackles of whoever that is on the ground. I can't really tell who that might be. I'd be guessing at best. It's you. It's AngryElf on his knees in front of God Doom. But yeah, that's Yelena on the far right, holding the shackles. So that kind of tells us a lot right there, just from that image, because it they might be leaning into because that goes into Secret Wars, which we know is another movie coming. So there's a lot there. There's a lot there. This next image, it is, I mean, I would have never put these two together, but that is Chris Pratt's Star-Lord chilling, having a beer, and what looks like a pizza, maybe, with White Vision, who we haven't seen since WandaVision. Keith wanted to know, could that last image be related to the What If universe in the 1600s? I mean, it could be. It's not.
It's not. I agree. I totally
it's
agree.
not. But I get where you're connecting those two things because that it makes logical sense. But it's not. This is from Battle World, when basically because they've already teased incursions and things like that in the comics. There were these massive incursions. All worlds were destroyed, and in a last minute Hail Mary play, Doom basically got these god powers and then recreated the universe, aka Battle World, where all the pieces of all the different universes, so like the Ultimate Universe and the Old Man Logan universe and like all these different universes had their own like plot of land in Battle World. And he used his god powers to do that. So it really is taken straight from that. He says, I have not read as much as you two, obviously. Yeah, we're nerds. But anyway, this is probably I would have never made these two as like two dudes that are going to hang out, White Vision and Star-Lord. Wasn't on my bingo card, but there you have it. You got White Vision and Star-Lord. This one, holy moly. This one, I have so many questions. So first off, God damn it, why is this one like this? Sorry, for the people in the vertical, I apologize because I'm like, let's see. Oh wait, there we go. That's better. I'm trying here. My poor vertical viewers. Okay, there we go. That looks somewhat decent. So this again, this obviously seems to take place in kind of the Battle World where we're in this kind of Victorian era Doom kind of timeline. But what's strange is, okay, we've got Hulk, we've got She-Hulk, gotcha. We've got Scar, for those that don't know, that's Hulk's son. We saw a brief moment of him at the end of She-Hulk. But if I'm looking at this correctly, there are a lot of green people in the background. Like a lot of green people. And in fact, the little girl in the bottom left appears to be hulking out because she's like white-ish turning green. So is this a village of all Hulkified people or gamma radiated people? I don't know. Hulkamania. That's good. I like that, Captain Wayne. That's funny. So there was, and I don't know if they're loosely basing this off of that, but I remember in the Old Man Logan story, there was like the Hulk made his own family of like inbred Hulk monsters. I don't think they're going that route, obviously, but
well, they're not going that route, but they're kind of taking I don't know,
some creative license, some influence.
Yeah, there you go.
Because
Or
it
at least
seems
creating a town.
right, like a Hulk people town. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but it seems interesting. But at least we'll see some of Scar in the future of Hulk. Now this one is interesting because it's very obviously Black Panther. But it's different enough that it makes me want to believe this could be a variant of Black Panther.
Mhm.
Not necessarily our Black Panther or our take on Black Panther, or even like because the other prevailing theory is like this is Black Panther's son all grown up, right? We find out at the end of Wakanda
Yep.
Forever that he has a son. So this could be like in the future, his son's all grown up, but that doesn't look like the Wakanda as we know it. So either the artist took very creative, liberties with creating Wakanda, but I take it as kind of an alternate universe, alternate timeline variant of Black Panther. So not sure. We'll
That,
see.
that castle kind of reminds me of a cross between Castle Grayskull from Motu and the Cat's Lair from Thundercats.
I was gonna say it has very much Thundercat feel to it. I
Yeah,
was thinking like Thundercats and also uh Triceratops Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Uh
yeah.
very, very, low to the ground, very, big head and like I feel like it should connect to a bunch of other castles and create a mega castle. And that's like the foot.
Who, who knows? Maybe the mouth opens and it's kind of that's how you get in and out of the castle.
Right. Yeah, see, even Billy said, why does that statue remind me of Thundercats? See? Totally.
Yep.
Uh, does that look like? Oh, okay. Going back to the Hulk pic, Captain Wayne said, "Does that look like a huge wall?" Yeah, that's a huge wall. Uh, so it's either like a defensive perimeter. I can imagine. I mean, that wall looks very high, so something big must be outside. Um, that is a
Or
very,
they're
very tall
keeping him
wall.
in.
Or that's some type of barricade keeping them in. That's a fair point. I would imagine this is connected in some way to Doom and his castle. Like, think about any, there's always a castle and then like a village or a town that's just on the outskirts of the castle. I mean, that's just kind of a classic
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, so I again, let's go back to the main. Um those were images we weren't supposed to see, obviously. Um of all of that, funny enough, I'm most curious about the White Vision and Star-Lord just because I'm like, where are they going with that one? Because like the God Doom stuff, we've read it and we know kind of what they're inferring and like the Hulk population thing seems interesting. So we'll see. Who knows where they're gonna go with this? Thundercats. Oh yes, classic,
Um, wh-
classic.
when does that movie come out?
Avengers Doomsday. I want to say 27.
I was gonna
Uh,
say 27.
let's see. Avengers Doomsday. It says 2026 actually. Based
Hmm.
on IMDb, it says story plot details. Where are you? There. May 1st, 2026. So next year. TJ
Okay.
wants to know, is this military or Marvel? It's both. I'm former Army. He's former Army. And we like Marvel. And we're talking about Marvel. So there you go. A little bit of both. But yeah. So, and then you got Secret Wars coming out after. I think Secret Wars was the one that was like 2027 or 2028. Yeah. Why is
Well,
UI?
I hope hopefully they do what they did with Infinity War and Endgame and only
Yeah.
having about a part
Yeah. They have to, because I guarantee you they're gonna Doomsday is gonna end on
that big cliffhanger.
the same way Infinity War did. It's gonna end on a big cliffhanger, and it's gonna lead right into the other one.
All right.
Jesus.
Do you want to take? Do you want to take bets on the cliffhanger, or excuse me, start throwing not bets, but start throwing theories?
I mean, TJ says, I'm enlisted is why I ask. I love both. Well, you're in the right place.
Nice.
You're in the
Yep,
right
you are in
place
the right
then.
place, my buddy.
Absolutely. So my if I were to guess, again, knowing nothing, then, basically like we've got some cast announcements and we know kind of where the Marvel storyline's going. My best guess is Doomsday introduces Doom as the character the same way Infinity War really did Thanos, right? Like where it made him, he wasn't just a 10-second clip, he was the main antagonist. So Doomsday is where they, I hate to say it, but it's going to be just like Infinity War, right? It's what builds up Doom into this big bad guy. You're going to have a team of the Avengers have to go and stop him and succeed only for, whatever it is, because it's going to be something big that leads to, I'm thinking incursion, right? You're going to have these worlds ending. Ooh, actually, I just convinced myself again. I'm good at this. I can convince myself of anything. No. So in movies like Fantastic Four and a couple of the other ones that are coming out beforehand, we're going to tease more about the incursions the way we did in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Doomsday as a title is misleading into people thinking it's a movie about doom when it's actually not. The Doomsday is referencing the end of the world incursion that's going to happen. So the movie, which may have Doom in it, probably will, but it's not about him. It's about all of the heroes separately trying to stop the end of the world, right? Because you're going to have Doctor Strange doing his thing. You're going to have the Guardians doing their thing. You're going to have the Fantastic Four doing their thing. Just like in Infinity War, they were all kind of scattered. They didn't fight on one front. They were scattered out. You're going to have a similar situation in here where it's like all these guys and all their plans are going to fail. And at the end, the world will collapse and be destroyed. But then you have that post-credit trailer, right? After the blackout, after the whiteout, it's all gone. Oh no, we failed. World's destroyed. Then you have that kind of blink moment and the world's back, but it's different. And that will be what they call it. Break World? No. War no, Battle World. Jesus. I just said
Battle
it.
World.
Battle
Thank you.
World.
Yeah.
So we wake up in Battle World and that will set the stage then for Secret War, which will be them trying to reverse what he did to create Battle World so that they can go back to a normal universe. That's my theory.
I think, and I'm not going to be as elaborate as you, but I think it's going to end with maybe an introduction to the Council of Reeds with the Maker, um, because I got a feeling that knowing Doom and kind of knowing the storyline, Doom's going to try to get rid of Reed because he's got his kid and his daughter.
Yeah.
We don't see Johnny or freaking Ben, but I could see, especially because the Council of Reeds was involved in everything that led into the most recent version of Secret Wars and trying to work on these incursions and all that stuff. I think we're going to get. I also kind of agree with you. There's a misleading who's going to be the real villain and all that stuff. We may come to find out the real villain is the Maker,
Could be.
and that's going to be the real thing. And because I've heard a lot of people say that, like, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is going to come in as a version of Doom, and I think he's not going to be Victor Von Doom. He's going to be Tony Stark, who becomes
So
Doom,
a
but in
variant or a version of Tony Stark.
right, right, and then towards the end, he's going to end up. Remember, after the storyline Access, where Doom had that flip flop and he became Iron Man for a while when Tony Stark was evil and he wore that white armor. Doom was a version of Iron Man. I think that's how the storyline is going to end in some way, shape, or form, he becomes a Iron Man version of Doom, turns to the good side, and they're fighting either another version of Doctor Doom or the Maker. So that's where I think it's gonna go.
I mean, I think you're wrong, but I do like the train of thought you have there. I do it would be interesting. Um it would be interesting to put it because we always think of Reed Richards as Mr. Fantastic, as the good guy, and we always think of Doom as the bad guy. It would be an interesting twist to bring out, I think what they call it, Superior Iron Man, right? When Doom took over as Iron Man.
Can't remember if it
Because basically it was a riff on what they did with Superior Spider-Man when it was Doc Ock
right.
that was actually Spider-Man. So I think it was just another rip on that. And it would be interesting to see Doom be the good guy and Reed actually be the bad guy, but to know that it ends up, it's the Maker. It's not like the Reed that we know and love.
Su- Superior Iron Man was when Tony Stark was bad, and at the same time, Doom was infamous Iron
Infamous
Man.
Iron Man. Infamous Iron Man. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I knew it was one of those. I know Superior Spider-Man was when it was Doc Ock, but um hmm, I
And they,
mean,
and they
yeah, I could see it. I
and
could see it.
they could do something like what they did with Deadpool and Wolverine and bring back these other characters from the Fox universe and have somebody like, I don't know if Miles Teller could pull off being the villain, but do something like that, like Miles Teller's, because that Fantastic Four movie was heavily based off of the Ultimate Fantastic Four storyline, comic line,
Yeah.
and that's where the Maker comes from.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I definitely think that there's uh sorry. I don't know. I think that could it be? I think my answer is probably more accurate. I'm weighing it in my head, and I'm like, because I would be interested in seeing that, but again, that's because I know the material as well as I do, and I would like to be surprised. Whereas the average person's not going to know that material, so them just sticking to that would be a surprise, right? The same way we knew what was going to happen in Infinity War. We didn't know exactly how, but we knew Thanos was going to get the
Yeah,
gems and he was going to snap half the universe out of existence. And then in Endgame, they would have to figure out a way to undo it. We didn't know how, but we knew that was going to happen. That was not a
yeah,
surprise to us who know these things. Uh, but to everybody else, they were like, what the fuck? Which one of my favorite memories of all time, my sister-in-law had never seen a Marvel movie, right?
yeah,
Infinity War had just came out on, I think, in theaters. And again, knowing I knew how it was going to end, uh, in the weeks leading up to that, I was like, hey, I want you to go to Infinity War with me. Let's catch you up on all. So we sat down and watched in chronological order every single Marvel movie, 10 years of Marvel movies over the course of like a month. And uh, then we went to see Infinity War in theaters. And when I say she was devastated, and she's like, well, what's going to happen now? I was like, I don't know. We'll see in a year. A year? Because we had crammed the whole Marvel universe into 1 month. And now she has me. I was like, sucker. Now you got to wait like the rest of us. You don't get to just jump ahead to the next thing. She was so mad. But yeah, we had to wait a year to find out what happened. But anyway, where was I going with that? I don't know. But Avengers, yes. Well, shit, look at that. It's almost time. Mr. Angry Elf. Mr. Angry Elf, have you had a good time tonight? Have you
oh,
had yourself a
always,
good time? Good time? Yes, yes.
always.
You
Yes.
sadist. Yes. Evil. I'm evil. Well, it's about that time, folks. The Sandman is calling. Looking at the thing, I got notes. Kill me. Oh, man. Good Lord. All right, I'm going to have to deal with that when I get done with this. Captain Sandy said, I know I did. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I want to thank all of you guys for coming out and watching the show, hanging out with us, talking nerdy, because you know that's what we do here. We talk nerdy every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, until we just get bored of it. Tune in next week. We got Dwayne White, comedian Dwayne White, coming on. He's going to talk about his first 1 hour is released 1 hour comedy stand-up special, which is available on like all the platforms. I think it's called A Boy Named Shannon, which is funny and ties into his comedy. So that'll be a fun conversation. Let's see. AngryElf, what you doing there, bud? You're like, we just get a lot of side neck on camera. But real quick, let's do a rundown of all the shows provided here on WTF Nation Radio, starting with Sundays. You got the Sports Bar. That is King and Coach giving you all the sports news. He said, AngryElf is off to the side watching Daredevil.
Yeah, what do you think I've been doing this entire time?
Mondays, the Monday edition with Ice and Massey. They're talking your discussions and commentary and news and all the stuff happening around the world. They cover it a lot. A lot's happening around the world nowadays. A lot. So they're very busy on that show. Tuesdays right here, Pop Culture Warrior with me. Sometimes with AngryElf, sometimes with MadMike. I'm not the only one who doesn't show up. We all take turns not showing up, and we have a good time here. Wednesdays is the Smoke Pit with Radar and TZ. That's for all you lower enlisted folks doing your thing. Have fun with that. That's where you're smoking and joking. That's where that's where we all laugh and have a good time. Sergeant's Time on Thursdays. All you military folks, like TJ out there who's enlisted, tune into Sergeant's Time. That's where they talk about all the military news. What's happening in the military? What's going on? What's the latest? That's Thursdays with Ice and Spanky. Fridays, every other Friday is FTX. It is Friday Night Tabletop Exercise. It is where me and the guys, if you tuned in last Friday, you saw AngryElf. He was there. We get together, we play board games, we drink, we laugh, we cuss, we have a good time. It's fun. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Wow.
It's a lot of fun. And then Saturdays is Weekend Co-ops with Nemo. That is that's where our buddy Nemo gets on, plays co-op games online. You can join him. You can I think he does like WoW, and he does Marvel Rivals, and any game that's a co-op game or can be played by multiple people, he's playing it, and you can tune in and join in and have fun. What else? That's it for that's a full week of shows right there. That's what that is. It's a full week of shows. We got hey, Don says, fun show. Thanks for inviting me over, Keith. Hey, Keith inviting people over, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for tuning in. Susan says, have a great Fat Tuesday, guys. Oh, that's the secret, Cap. Every day's a fat day.
Oh, yes.
When you're out of the service, every day's a fat day. But yes, happy Fat Tuesday, all y'all. With that, I think we're going to call it a show. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. No FTX this week. We'll be back next week. Keith says DJ is a vet and artist. Hey, man. Don Jason Hall. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning in. No FTX this week. We'll be back next week. Guest next week. And what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. We got the table in. Daredevil time. Yes, it is Daredevil time. You're right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a night. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Love and respect. We'll see you guys next week. Final words, Angry Elf.
Love you.
You kiss your mother with that mouth? All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Shots.
Let's see it.